Okay, good morning, world, and everybody in California. So we're going to start day 2 of our Google Apps class. This is Gmail. But before we do that, Dennis, your camera is crooked. It looks like everybody's on a ship that's sliding into the ocean there. Can you fix that for posterity? Okay, there's Joe. Good. So, and I understand the weather, it's a little bit foggy in California today?
Yeah, it was once I hit LA.
Once what? Oh, now the other thing is the camera is facing too much towards the ceiling. There we go. There we go. Good. Excellent. Perfect. Did anybody see yesterday's MailChimp? What?
Did it go through?
Okay, Safira, can you check to see if it went out?
Well, I tried to log in, but I couldn't.
Okay, John?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we had a MailChimp that was supposed to go out yesterday. Can we make sure, can you check to see that the Larson one went out? In California, do you guys know whether the MailChimp went out?
Not. No.
No, I didn't receive the list.
And I wasn't here yesterday, and the other two people that were working on it aren't here today.
Okay, well, we were going to send another one out from here, and our guy, Brett, isn't here either.
Okay.
But, so we're checking to see if it went out. Jonathan, you can do that, right?
No, I don't think, no.
Okay, so we'll catch up with that in a second. But, so the people working on that project, let's continue doing that today. Anybody who wants to work on that in California. So I'm also very happy to announce that we are going to night school. We're going to be adding night school here in Las Vegas, and Will Nada, who was in the first class here in Nevada and was in the first graduating class here in Nevada, will be the instructor for that night school. So that's a big accomplishment.
What are your hours, Ed?
5 to 9.
Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday. Right, that's a good question. Thank you. Now, what happens between 3:30 and 5?
Well, we meet there about 4, so make up anything can be
Okay.
4 to 5.
So from 4 to 5 will be makeup, getting settled in, getting decompressed from work, getting into study mode, maybe doing some preparation for that day's class, and then we'll start at 5 and go for 4 hours, and we'll see what happens. Okay. All right, moving on. Okay, so Gmail day 2. We're going to jump right into it. So what we're going to do today, what are the 3 things we're going to do today? What are on the notes of the 3 things we're going to do today? Add signature. What else? Labs and yeah, please. For 10:15. Okay, so now for everybody here in Las Vegas, these notes are also on your drive. So like we did a couple weeks ago, there's a drive, a document in the drive that are notes. You should pull that up and add to that so you have your own book of notes of how to do these Google apps that we're doing. Okay, it'd be much easier and better than using your composition book. Though your composition book could still be a reference to find certain things. So instead of keeping detailed notes in your reference book, you can add them to the notes for today's topic. And if you click on the button that says official site, at the bottom of the page, what happens?
When you, it takes you and you can get a copy of the document.
Okay, so that's the document. Now, what do we do with that document?
Make a copy.
Make a copy. The first thing you do is make a copy so it's your own. Don't start writing on that document. Make a copy, and those are your notes. And in your drive, what should you do in your drive?
Name it.
Okay, and do what with it, though, Cedric?
Basically, store all your information regarding the training and for the app.
Okay, so on your drive, you will create a folder called Google Apps. And what I would do would be to create subfolders for each of the 8 apps. So in your drive, my drive, you have a folder called Google Apps. But not that fast, because what are one of the 3 folders supposed to be in Google? Do you remember, Will? Okay, so school, personal,
Business.
exactly.
Employment.
Okay, business or employment. I'll say employment, but that's right. So Will has graduated, so he already has, so now for him it would be business. And in your school folder, you should have a folder on your adversity paper. And now you should have one called Google Apps. Okay, and in your Google Apps folder, you should have a folder called Gmail. And then as we do each of the Google Apps, you will add another subfolder here, and this is where you would store your notes. So in the future, in the distant future, if you want to go back and say, I can't remember how to do that, what would you do?
Go back to your folder.
Go to your
Drive, go to your
drive, go to your drive, school, Google Apps, Gmail. 5 years from now, you'll be able to find the notes on this in 30 seconds. Okay, so we're going to focus on labs, creating an account, and signature. Not creating an account, but working with accounts. So I'd like everybody to go to Gmail, please. Okay, so Veronica, you could do that from here. What is she trying to say?
Password.
Okay. Oh, you're going to get the code. Okay, got it. Okay, I'm with you now.
That's all right.
What happened? What did I miss?
You made a joke.
Oh. Okay. All right. So, okay, let's get into Google Gmail. And how do we get to Gmail? What's the best way to get to Gmail? 9 square grid, right. So go to the 9 square grid. What is not a good way to get to Gmail? Well, that's not a good way. What? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I can't do that now. Okay, what's not a good way to get to Gmail? From your bookmarks bar. Exactly. That's not a good way to get to Gmail. Why? Robert is saying why. Why isn't it a good way?
Because it probably closed out the tab that you're on.
Right. So it's not a good way to do it because whatever your active tab is, if you go to the bookmarks bar and you hit a thing, it's going to replace that active tab. And so now, instead of just having a flow and a process of how you do things, go to the 9 square grid, open it up, 9 square grid, open it up, and you'll have more tabs across the screen. If you use the bookmarks bar, you have to say, oh, I either have to open a new tab, or I'm going to overwrite the tab I'm on, or I switch to this other tab, and it's just, it gets you there, but it's not as elegant. Okay. Another way to do it is next to your Omnibox, the Omnibar, you might have an app that's called, what is it called? Google Shortcuts or something. Shortcuts for Google. And that's up in the upper right-hand corner here. That's another way to do it. But everybody should be in Google Gmail. Go to your settings. Okay, so when you're in settings, I think I'm going to change the screen to... I'm going to share my screen. Okay, is my screen up on the wall, Dennis? Okay, I'm going to assume Dennis is still there.
Yes. I was helping the students. Yes, it's on the screen, Ed.
Okay, good. So I'm going to talk you through it from my screen. So now we're in settings on Gmail. And what you'll see at the top in blue are some words that take you to places. The first one says general, but that's in black. Then labels, accounts and import, filters. And what you want to do is click on the one that says labs.
That's why. Okay. On ten?
Click on the one that says labs. Does anybody remember from yesterday, what is the purpose of labs?
Experiment.
Okay, experimental things is where they start. But why are some things on there for a long time? They never come off.
They work.
They're not useful for your endeavor.
Well, yeah, so they leave some things on labs because it takes it from just being a simple thing in Gmail, just simple Toyota, to getting more like a Ferrari. And we want to learn to use Gmail as professionals. So we're going to click on labs, and in the labs, what I'm going to do is tell you the labs that are the ones that should be enabled. On my screen, they've already been enabled, so they're not going to be in the same order in yours. So I'm going to say the first one, and you have to look for it. It might not be the first one on your screen. Okay? If I say it and it's not the first one on your screen, just go find the one I said. So the first one is Auto Advance. Auto Advance. So that needs to be enabled. Right, so I'm going to talk about the ones that need to be enabled. And then the ones that are disabled are at the bottom of mine, and they will, after this, be at the bottom of yours. So Auto Advance, enable. Okay, so you should be, everybody should be in labs in Gmail settings. Okay, who's not in labs here? Who's not in labs? Is Veronica in labs?
I'm getting her signed on it.
Okay. Sequoia, are you in labs?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right. So the first one is Auto Advance. Automatically shows the next conversation instead of your inbox after you archive or make a delete, archive, or make a or mute a conversation. Next one, canned responses, enable. This is a very, very important tool, canned responses. So, anybody here work with canned responses yet?
You explained to us once how that went. Basically, it's like an automatic email.
Okay, so a canned response is you type up an email that you want to send somebody that you would want to do frequently. Like, let's say you have a new customer, and it's a welcome email to a new customer. So you type it up, you go down to the bottom where it says canned response, add canned response, it asks you to name the canned response, and then it saved it. If you want to send that canned response to somebody else, you open your email, you go to compose an email, you go down to the lower right where it has canned responses. You say, I want to send a canned response. It comes up with all the canned responses, the names of them that you have. You select the one you want, you click on it, poof. Now the body of your email is that canned response. Keith uses it here all the time as he's out working on the Lavoce project. Next.
And I'm sorry, Director, but at that point too, you're actually able to change the name if you wanted to go to a specific person, like instead of their occupant, blah blah blah.
Correct. At that point, you in the body of the email, you would make whatever changes you want. Okay. So canned responses enable. Google Calendar gadget, enable that. So you want to be able to have your calendar available, visible on Gmail. Google Maps preview in Mail, same thing. Want to make that available. These become very powerful tools when you're doing email to be able to look and search. Next, Google Voice Player in Mail, enable that. So what this enables you to do is to make calls as you're in your Gmail. You don't have to exit and go to another app. So when you're there with your headphones on and you're doing things, you're trying to do work, you don't have to leave your Gmail. Next, mark as read button. That's very important. Sometimes you don't want to have to open an email, right? We've all experienced that. Sometimes you don't want to have to open the email, but you don't want it to stay in your inbox as unread. So this enables you to click on the box next to the email, click the button that says mark as read, and then it grays out that email as if you've already read it. Next, Picasa preview in Mail. Enable. Shows photo previews whenever you receive a Picasa link to an email. Okay. Pictures in chat. Enable this. See your friend's profile picture when you chat with them. That's just a little thing that makes it easier. It's kind of cool.
I'm sorry, Director. The mark as read.
Yeah.
If somebody sends you an email, you know how you get those ones where they get the back if it's open or not?
Yeah.
If you put it under mark as read, will they receive that back as you read that?
Good question. I don't know. My hunch would be no. But we'll have to test that. Okay, Picasa pane or preview pane.
Enable?
Yes, enable preview pane. Okay. The next one is quick links. Enable that. Add a box to the left column that gives you one-click access to any bookmarked URL in Gmail.
Wait, what was it?
Quick links.
So preview pane.
Preview pane enable, quick links enable, quote selected text. I'm not really sure what that is, but it seems like it would be good and not too complicated. Right side chat, move the chat box to the right side of your inbox. That just makes, once you get used to your screen that way, it just makes it more efficient for navigating. Here's a very important one, undo send. So if you accidentally send,
Enable that one?
enable it.
Okay.
And this used to be for about 5 seconds you could undo.
30 now.
Yeah, now it's about 30 seconds. Next is unread message icon. So this will be up in your bookmarks bar, in your tabs. When the tab isn't open, but it says Gmail, so you see your Gmail tab, it'll show you how many unopened emails that you have. So that's a very important feature. So enable that. Authentication icon for verified senders. It's not so important now, but it's good just to enable it. I think it's going to become important in the future, so just take care of it now.
Enable it?
Yeah, authentication icon for verified senders. Okay, so the description of it, it's something to help. Okay, so now we're getting to the disabled ones. So you might have to go back to the top.
We enable smart labels.
No, we're not there yet. So the first disable one is going to be custom keyboard shortcuts. Okay, that is a good tool, but that's somebody who has advanced Gmail skills. We don't need to worry about that now.
Enable that one.
Disable that.
Disable that.
Next, multiple inboxes. Again, that's for somebody who really is a power Gmail user that's way beyond our purpose here. It's just going to cause frustration and confusion, so disable that. You should. It has 4 M's on it. Gmail M's. Next, smart labels. Disable that. Again, this is something for real power users. It's just going to create confusion now. Yelp previews in mail. For anybody that's working on LaVoce project, this would be something to enable.
Yep.
If you're, Yelp. Okay. So that would be something to enable if you're on the LaVoce project or an In Vino Veritas. But otherwise, it's just another one of those things that you're not going to need to have. So and now the last thing to do is click the Save button in the lower left corner. So scroll to the bottom and click Save.
What about app search? You mentioned about app search.
App search.
Once you do that, it'll take you right back.
App search.
Yeah, just slow as computer. That's all it is. Yeah. Anytime it's slow.
Push it. Magnify black.
F5 it.
Search.
It should take care of that. Go back down to the bottom. It save changes again. It should be done.
It's called Apps Search.
App search.
Okay, so I don't even have it. So what does it say?
Extend search with Google Docs and Sites results. App search will find the most relevant docs and sites and show them below Gmail search results.
You can try it. I don't know. What was the other one? Magnify. Somebody say magnify something.
It shows a symbol of a magnifying glass.
Oh, I see.
Flip back.
Yeah, okay. So he's trying to help me find it. Okay, so I don't have it on here. That might be something brand new. On the paid accounts, they don't come out with stuff as fast as they come out with them on the free. So they want to make sure when it gets to the paid side, it's ready to go. Okay? So that could be something good. Enable it. All right, so now if you have made any other changes after you saved, save it again.
It doesn't want to stay.
Well, if you saved it once.
No, if there was no changes.
There's no change on
Yeah.
it. Froze.
Mine worked. Eric's worked. This
Don't work.
Well, okay, so I can assure you it's not Google. The problem is not with Google.
I didn't do it, I swear.
That's the identity, right?
Exactly.
Swear.
So
It's not
as
my fault. I'm not taking responsibility.
okay, so the number one error that everybody needs to know is what? What is the most common error in dealing with computers?
The moron operating it?
Okay, so you should have on your important thoughts page, most common error in computers. Okay, so write down most common error.
I think I already have this quote.
Unit quote.
Get the most common error.
Okay, most common error. And then write down
Forgot.
the letters ID,
Idiot.
N, T. ID,
I did it.
10T. 10T. The number 10 and T. And what does that say? Right.
Idiot.
I'm not, I am not right.
I didn't even have to write that one down. I knew that crap.
It's funny because that was the most, useful error in our class.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
interesting how
it is. That is, I'm pretty sure if you do a Google search on ID 10T error, it will come up under Google. I have no doubts that.
That should be one of their error prompts.
Right. Okay. But that's very important as a reminder, because most of the times that something is wrong, it's because we forgot to do something, or we did something that we didn't need to do, should not have done, etc. The last thing to do today is say, when you're at work, is to call somebody over and say the internet is down.
Right.
Okay? The internet is not down. Okay.
I was doing that the other day. It was broken.
Right.
Google's broken.
Call repairman.
Yeah.
Use it bigger.
Not a good strategy. If you want to be known as the go-to guy, not a good strategy to be saying the internet is down. And my computer doesn't work.
Yeah, that's the last thing you should say.
Now, sometimes it's true, but you should only say it when you have done the Sherlock Holmes. You've eliminated every other possibility. I mean, so was your class here when Google did go down?
It did go down.
Okay.
It did go down.
So we had it here one day, and last year,
We're almost done all day.
and Google was down. It wasn't the internet. It was
We weren't
Google.
accepting it for a while. We were
Yeah.
saying, no, we were obviously idiots here.
Yeah.
Same thing when we
I
had-
wasn't saying that part.
Same thing when we had the problem in the other building with all the stuff going out.
Well, that was that was
Passing that off and who kicked the plug out.
yeah, right. Okay, so now let's go back into settings.
You're there.
Does anybody not know how to get to settings?
There you go.
Okay. And again, at the top, there's general, lab, labels, inbox, accounts and import, filters, forwarding and pop mail, chat, labs, offline, and themes. Let's click on offline. And then click on the thing that says install Google offline.
Install Gmail.
Or Gmail offline. Yeah,
Okay.
install Gmail offline.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Launch that sucker.
Yep.
Launch it.
Yep.
I'll let you launch.
So what does this enable you to do? What is the point?
You're able to, when you don't have internet or whatever,
Right.
you're still able to view off the
Right.
hard drive.
Oh, you got your email stuff on there.
And then click the box, the little button that says allow offline mail.
Okay.
And then continue.
Okay, no, wait, that's great. Here.
Go ahead and do it,
Yeah.
even though it says run a share.
Yeah.
Okay, so, thank you.
Okay. Your computer.
It said copies of recent mail of Larson Trade. Computer. You're using a copy share of companies.
Okay.
You good?
Okay.
Just go ahead and click continue.
So now when that is done and it's installed, then just close out, get out of that tab, shut it down, get out of there and go back to your settings page.
Sorry.
Get on.
Go ahead and close the tab.
Oh, the tab. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Now you got me really
See, now we got this thing
urge
done
to
so
add
many
stuff.
times. Now it's going to do it again. See?
That's
Yeah, right. I need all of this now.
So let's go back.
Okay. Huh? What? Okay, now let's click on the one that says accounts and import. No, I can't. Well, actually, I can't.
Whatever my
No, it's okay. It's okay. Watch.
Just add it.
There you go.
Would they give me some?
Counts.
If I have that problem, you just go back to
Right, right. It's the easiest way, remember?
So yours doesn't look like this, right? Okay.
Yeah.
What this shows here in this section are all of the different email accounts that I can send from. So this is part of having Gmail as a power user. So I can send as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 different email accounts I control through my Gmail. So when I go to send an email, I get to choose, well, who is this from? So I can send it from the Gladius account, the Larson account, the Obligation, Chowchuti, SPQR, my personal Yahoo account, Lavoce Publishing.
Okay, now, and Director, where is that from? Is that from the Gmail? That's how our Gmail should look right there.
No,
Huh?
that's his. Click on accounts and
Yeah, that's
import,
his.
right?
Account.
His personal.
So what we're going to do is show you how to do this. But you have to be able to access the other email. So if you have a personal account, this would be something you could do right now. But when we get you your professional accounts, we'll go through this again. But I just want to show you basically what you do. So you have, in blue, it says add another email, right?
Yeah.
Okay, click on that. Huh? You can, if you want to do that right now.
Oh, on the left-hand corner.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is not for Casa Grande.
So the rest of we can put it in
You're
there?
not,
If you want, I'm keeping mine completely separate. This one.
okay, so that means that it's just as a not your real name, whatever you want to call it. So,
Okay, I missed what you got.
so,
Basically, there we would add the other email.
okay, so when you clicked on that, all right, so pay attention to me. Okay, so you just have to try to follow me, Veronica, because he's going to miss out when he's telling you.
True.
And you're not going to be catching up. So just,
Ask a question. Okay.
okay, so now, when you push that blue thing that says add another email address you own, if you click that, a yellow box pops up, right? And it says, what is your name? You can put in there whatever you want. Okay, then it says, what is the email address? So Cedric might have Coach Cedric or something like that. Okay, and then you type in the other email address.
Suck a type in?
No. Okay. Then you go to the next step, and here's where it gets a little bit tricky. So, yeah. But the answer is yes. Have that marked yes. Okay, now,
Next step.
yeah, if you go there and it says configure your mail to send through your whatever SMTP server. So you need to know a little bit of information here. So you have to get that from your other email account.
In other words, we're not really truly doing this right now. We're just
No, we're not doing it right now.
Oops.
Okay. If you have another account, you can do it right now. But ultimately, what we want to do, hopefully by the end of the week, is to go through this again with our professional email accounts. So that whenever you send an email to somebody, it's not from your LTC LV or your LTC name, date at gmail.com. It's from your professional account. You want to set that as your default. But I just want to show it right now, talk about it right now, because this is a very powerful tool. So when you go to work for, let's say, the spqr.us, you're going to want to send emails from the spqr.us. You're not going to want to have an email account at Gmail. And this is how easy it is to do it. Just last year when we did it, you could use a forwarding account. You can't do that anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to know the SMTP server, you have to know the port, and so that doesn't work with the forwarding account, which is what we did last year.
Right.
They were just forwarding accounts.
Right.
So, and then you would add the account. What will happen is Gmail will send you a test email. You click on it, you open the email, you click on it, or it has a number in there, you add that number, put it in the yellow box, and then you now have the ability to send as that other name. Okay? So that's huge, very, very big, very important, very powerful. So you should be on your screen, and it should, again, look like that. Okay? On your just main settings screen. Click on chat in the upper right, on top. It's the fourth one from the right. Click on chat. Make sure it is turned on. It should be on everybody's screen. Make sure it's on. Huh? Fifth from the right? Okay, so I don't have web clips. Now let's click on themes. Okay. Now here is the important thing to know. When you are at work, this is your work account. One of the things that gets you to not be a good employee very fast is if your boss sees your email has all stuff that doesn't have to do with work. Because what they're going to get is that you don't really care that much about work. And in here, don't have goofy themes. It makes you look unprofessional. Okay, now a good theme would be if your business had something and you had that on there. Because what would happen if the owner of the business came in, he walked in, looked over your shoulder, and the theme on your Gmail was the business? He's into the company, right? That's a good employee. Now, what if it's the opposite? No, you won't be fired, but you're not going to be on the short list for probably who's going to be promoted next week. So,
what? Put your competitor's theme on there?
Yeah, if you put your competitor's theme on there, right? That would not be good. So that would be bad. So, what a lot of people do is they think, I need to customize this to me. My computer, my desktop, my Gmail, my calendar, all of this has to be a reflection of me. Overcome that impulse to do that. This is about work. This is about work. This is about stable and meaningful employment. This is about being viewed as the person who is the good employee. And it's not worth the cost to say, I need to be me. It's usually not worth the cost. This is not one of those things that's worth going down in flames for. It would just be somebody good. Okay? And for here, nobody to have any other themes. When we have people come in, like last week, Dean Heller's people came in. Last week, or this week, Harry Reid's person is coming in. This week, last week, correction officers were in here. And, you know, if you're at Casa Grande, it's just not defensible for me to say why you have some theme on your email, on your account. Okay, because what they're going to think is you're spending all of your time doing stuff that you want to do, not school stuff. Okay, no good comes from personalizing your computer unless your employer says, we want you to make this computer like your second home, like your bedroom. And they might do that at Zappos. Okay, they might say the more this is you, the more it is, because we want you to feel comfortable. But unless they do that, that's not the best strategy to customize your desktop or anything, your theme. So, but that's where the theme button is.
So I should take my desk off.
I think you should.
Yeah, get rid of the Hello Kitty.
Okay, so now we're down to the final one. That's the important one. And what you need to do, though, is you need to open an email that you have from me. Everybody should have received an email that says, welcome to Larson Training Center. Yeah, so what you should do now is go back to your inbox. And what you want to do is open an email from me. Yeah.
I made a mistake this morning. I deleted most of my emails.
Okay.
It was clogging them up.
Any email from you.
Okay. So here's the thing to know in Gmail. Never, ever, 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 ever delete an email unless it is spam or something you don't want anybody to see.
Archive it.
Yeah. Archive it. Okay, so that is a common theme. And that's one of the things that Google did differently than other email things, is with other emails, the idea was you have limited space, always be pruning out, getting rid of the stuff you don't want, because it's just going to make it hard to find. So you could probably go into your trash can and undelete your stuff, Jesse. You can probably go in and undelete. But with Gmail, it's now, how much storage do you have?
15.
15 gigabytes? Okay. What you need to think of is this is an account that you're going to have for the rest of your life, for the next 10 or 15 years. This should be your solid go-to account. Change the password when you get out of here so you feel safe and secure that nobody's going to be seeing what you do. But this is the account that you should keep because you've set up your Drive, you've set up your Google Plus, you've set up a lot of things. Your contacts are in there. No reason to start over.
Yeah, it's still my main account.
Okay, so it's still Will's main account. That's now over a year. Okay.
Just open any one of your emails, right?
Open an email from me, and what you want to get is you want to copy my signature. So you just select it. Nope.
One in the
Yeah, one in an email.
It's in red.
Right.
This is what I got. This is what I got. I want to like
I ain't got none of that on there.
You
I
have
have
that,
no
the
idea.
welcome to Larson
What?
letter?
No.
All right, so you want to copy my email, my signature. Now, once you have my signature copied, and it's just not my signature, all the way down to the disclosure, the confidentiality part. So you select it, right-click, copy, close that email, go back into settings, and on your settings page, scroll down to the signature part near the bottom. Over on the left, it says signature. Make sure it isn't clicked where it says no signature. You go into that box, and then you paste in my signature. You paste my signature into that box.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Well, my name popped up and you got the Larson.
I don't have all that.
Okay, so you paste my signature in the box. Now, some of you should have already done this. It should be done. For the people who it's not done, once my signature is in the box, then you replace my signature with your signature, but you don't delete my signature and add your signature. You do my name, and then you do your name, and then you delete my name.
So I become the director of education.
Well,
No.
you change the
Yes, you do.
Strange name you have. Senator.
Yeah.
See how easy that was?
That was great.
That's
cool.
You should already have this done.
We just put your name, Edward.
No,
Yes.
we're good.
Much better.
I know that one.
So you replace my information with your information.
Oh, it just changed your name.
See, look.
But you need to have the same formatting.
See, look. You should already have this done.
Okay, I got mine there.
We did this before.
I'll put learners.
Go to compose.
How about student?
Click.
Right.
There you go.
I like learner.
Okay, see, you already have this. See?
Yeah, look.
So,
Enlightened.
The enlightenment.
yeah. Watch this.
Enlightening process.
Can we come up with our own title?
Except
So your title should be student
Oh, man.
if it's your LTC LV.
I shouldn't use that.
I was trying to give it to you. I was trying to give it to you. Told you it was going to be student.
Director,
Yeah.
if you're adding my signature and sending it to you, it'll automatically attach my signature to it, right? Am I replying it?
Watch.
Yeah.
It's already there.
Now, if you want to do this, you don't have to do your service.
You should.
Okay. So now it
So
should.
add it.
Application. Okay. So at the bottom of that is my signature. Might have a little thing, a bar with 3 dots on it. A little icon with 3 dots on it.
We don't need all that other stuff though. I
Yeah, you
agree.
do.
Like when it says Edward Camelot, I invited you to.
Okay. So look. So I'm doing it here. So you select. Copy, select it. All the way down to there. Right click, copy, go into settings. Yeah, go into settings, scroll down, signature, right here, and paste. Now I have my signature. Now the way to do your signature is you put the cursor at the front of the line and you type your name. That keeps the formatting there. And that's the important thing, because remember, this is your signature as a student. This isn't your signature as you personally. This is as a student. And it's just like if you were at a company, they would want you to use their format.
So, and put the cursor after.
And then delete. Yeah, then you delete. And then once you're done, you go to the bottom and you save. Yeah.
So it should be my name.
Yeah, not my name. This is your
Okay,
signature.
so Manuel Jackson is with students should be under my name?
Yeah. So where it says Director of Education, you should replace that with student. So
Okay,
that
wait,
when you're
before that,
done.
when you put your signature there, we
Yeah.
have to send it.
No.
Oh,
It's your-
just change it.
Yeah. So it should look like this. So up here on the screen is what it ultimately should look like. Okay? And really, you should have an extra line. Maybe it should be like that. Okay, so when your email starts, it has a few extra lines in it. But your name should be in burgundy, which is what this is. It should be a dark red, like Stanford red. Your title should be navy blue, and then if you have a phone number, those are a lighter color, and it'll probably turn them into a hyperlink.
And actually, the title is in purple.
Well, it might look purple on yours. On my thing, when I send it, it is in navy blue.
And get rid of, remove your telephone number.
Right, so you should replace those with your number, but leave the fax number. Leave the fax number. If you don't have a phone number, just delete that line. Okay? If you don't have a phone number or voice number, just delete that line.
I still can't find an email.
Okay?
You got the one, welcome.
So
to
then what
Larson?
you do is you have Saphira send you an email.
Right.
And then just use hers.
And use hers. So if you don't have an email from me for some reason, have somebody who just did this send you an email from their account with their thing on it. Yeah, delete that line. Go like this.
I don't think no, just leave it up.
Select that line. You just delete it twice. And then you save it. Once again, whenever you make changes, save it.
What about the email address? I mean, the website.
Yeah, yeah, leave that.
So just my name, my student, my telephone number, and date.
Yeah.
That's what I got here.
Okay, so now when people get an email from you, they're going to think, what? This person knows what they're doing. I don't have a signature. Most people out there don't have signatures on their thing, right? Most people don't. So if you do, you get put in the category of, this person might be smart. This person could be professional.
And if you hit compose, it comes up.
Then when you hit compose, yeah, so if you want to test it, hit your compose button, and you'll see how your emails now look.
This got your name and your phone number.
So what we want to make sure to do, and we're going to close with this because we've gone over, what we want to make sure to do is everybody who's working on a project to get their email. So we have emails for the spqr.us. What project are you on, Manuel? Okay, so yours would be manual@thespqr.us. And then you'd set that up as your default email. And Dan, what project are you on? Lavoche, right? Okay, do you have yours set up for Lavoche right now? Okay. So we'll get those set up. Sequoia, what is your project? Okay.
Just not keep the gas running, right?
No, you'll set it up with the project that you're on. Okay. Now, John, how many emails, Jonathan, how many email accounts do you have?
Email accounts I have on,
On Gmail, on your Google, on your Gmail?
I have everybody from LTC.
No. Okay, so you weren't paying attention. That's okay.
Personal, right?
So, anyway, are there any questions in California, Dennis?
No, we're good, Ed.
Good. Okay. So we're going to pick this up tomorrow. We're going to pick up again with signature, just to review it, because if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. And in terms of the connect home, what does that mean?
Mapping of objects.
Right? Not what is the connect home, but why do we want to review it tomorrow relative to the connect home? Right. Repetition. That's right. So it helps us remember. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice day.
Okay, you too. Thank you, Ed.